much, Honorable Speaker. I take this opportunity to honorably greet your good self, the Honorable Whip of Council, and also members of the Mayoral Committee that are present today, our chairpersons of Section 79. Let me also take this opportunity to greet our councillors that are present. Before I move on to acknowledge the rest of the members who are joining us here today, let me start by acknowledging the municipal manager and the administration of GMM Municipality, and start by saying, Honorable Speaker, the point raised by Councillor Koza is nowhere to find expression. We are here to an august event of government that is constituted by political parties. We are a representative democracy, therefore a person cannot dictate to whom do you acknowledge or not acknowledge. And with that said, I would like to take this opportunity and greet the Honorable PEC member of the ANC, Ngamukosi. Secondly, greet the Honorable PEC member of the SACP, Cllr Zuma. Also take this opportunity to greet the regional chairperson of the ANC and also the executive mayor of the district, Ubaba Walter Ngomezulu, the regional secretary of the ANC, Umamuma Sina, whom is also the former executive mayor of GMM Municipality, the regional treasurer of the ANC, Ubaba Mabua, the leadership collective of the progressive movement. Let me also selectively greet the leader of the Democratic Alliance in GMM, Councillor Van Nistelrooy, the leader of the EFF, Councillor Tracy Simela, the leader of the Freedom Fund Plus, Councillor Aranda. Let me also greet the Honorable Councillor President, President Mahlangu from ARP. Let me also greet the councillor from ATM, Councillor Zwele, and also the councillor from IFP, Councillor Mntwangenza. Honorable councillors, allow me also to acknowledge the presence of those who lead us by spirit, the religious leadership which is present, the traditional leadership, and further acknowledge the traditional leadership on the basis that we are aware that ingwenyama yamandebele ikhona ila eGovenimbeki and currently visiting the national key point Saso. Let me take this opportunity also and greet the leadership of the young people, the leadership of women, the leadership of the disabled, the leadership of the unemployed, the leadership of the taxi associations, the leadership of different sector departments, and lastly, allow me to say, all protocol observed, honorable guests of the municipality, I greet you all. Honorable Speaker, we are gathering here today at a Lillian Ngoi Center, which unfortunately for now were hard hit by the load shedding, therefore it's a bit dark. I hope my complexion on the cameras will be somehow blue. I see there's some form of a light. I can't see whether it's a spotlight or not, it's a bit dim. As we gather here in this particular center, it is very crucial for one to indicate that this center is named after a gallant stalwart whom has fought for the rights of all, particularly for the rights of women, Mama Lillian Ngui. Therefore, as I do that, it becomes very prudent that I focus the speech that is to be presented today on the history, or the rich history that we as governing Mbeki municipality have. Today's speech will seek first to elevate and recognize the contribution made by some of our fallen heroes that have contributed immensely in the struggle for emancipation for all. These heroes and heroines sacrificed their entire lives fighting to ensure that we all have equal rights. They could have chosen to leave things as they were, but they didn't. They did what they did with a clear understanding of the fact that there was so much to lose, and even a possibility of losing their own lives. Part of those stalwarts include our very own Womgov. Governing Mbeki municipality is named after one of the most dedicated, disciplined, patient, educated, knowledgeable, and very patriotic individual that contributed so much to the much celebrated freedom of the South Africans today. Mind you, I am me. Therefore, I will continue to break protocol as I go. In the middle of the speech, I would like to acknowledge further guests. Let me take this opportunity through you, Honorable Speaker, and acknowledge the presence of the Executive Mayor of Steve Tshwete, Ubaba Umhlonishwa, who has blessed us with his presence. But furthermore, acknowledge the presence of almost all the former mayors of the post-democracy governing Mbeki municipality. As I already indicated, Mamlindi is present. Also, Umama Uflora Mabua Boltman is present. Also, Ubaba Umdibani Sicheke is present. Unfortunately, Ubaba Usipongbosi, whom is the only mayor who is not unfortunately present, has unfortunately passed on last year. Therefore, may his soul rest in peace. I also have to acknowledge the presence of big business which is present with us. I will be citing them as I go. Honorable Speaker, Womgov, being an honest man of integrity, principled to the core, a man who didn't care about being loved by those that surrounded him, even if they were his comrades or even his own flesh and blood. Governing Mbeki local municipality has come a long way for it to be here. Suffered many tragic and exciting events that have taken place within this geographic location. Blood was shed and blood was spilled in the formation of many of the places that we now call home, where you are talking about the existence of Bethel, Mzinoni, Charlie Silius, Iendra, Embalenge, Ivanda, Kinross, Lebuhang, Leandra, Sekunda, Trichard, and the surrounding farm areas. I would like to draw the attention of this august house to the right-hand side of myself and your own left-hand side, to the exhibition that has been made by our good selves through our museum named after Umama Unomoya Masilela, symbolizing the establishment of areas such as the Thal, with the dress code of some of those which were enslaved in the farms that were producing the potatoes in Bethal. Our history remains very rich and therefore must be told in its proper context. Innocent lives were taken away from those who just wanted to live their lives freely in their own land. Others were turned into slaves in their own land. Others died while working what used to be their land and got buried in shallow graves where crops that they worked were grown and their flesh became fertilizer. Oppression had become the order of the day, particularly to a black child for centuries. In the late 1800s, town-based municipalities were established, including amongst many, Bethal as one of them. The toiling that the people of that time had to go through was and still remains unbearable by today's standards. Bethal, as the oldest town we have, must be developed into the image of a town that is able to resemble its age in terms of its development. A town that has produced serious struggle heroes cannot be left in the state that it is in at the current moment. Otherwise, their spirits will haunt us. Nomoya Masilela, Gert Sibande, Noktula Smelane, and many other martyrs must be redeemed by us in making Bethal Mzinoni the tourist destination in the region. The Nomoya Masilela Museum must be refurbished and upgraded so as to have capacity to handle both tourists and educational tours from across the world to ensure that our history does not die out. Governing Begi Municipality is therefore going to invest and further lobby patriotic private sector partners to come on board in ensuring that we elevate this museum and subsequently the entire town, and that work starts immediately. We will also have to ensure that we resurface the roads that are now in the state of disaster for a lack of a better word. Bethal and Zinoni have unfortunately in the recent past experienced water shortages. This unfortunate event has caused instability to people's lives and the growth of the economy in the area. This unfortunate situation has been caused by various issues, which includes, amongst many, the non-filling of the reservoirs due to low pressure from the supplying pipes, the bulk illegal connection made to the main line from rainwater, our notorious load shedding, long hours of maintenance by rainwater, as it will be also happening from the 26th of May. Now it means we must brace ourselves because we are going to suffer the same fate for a very long period. Vandalism of infrastructure, both within the municipality and also at the rainwater side. Water leakages caused by aged infrastructure. At the moment, all communities of Bethal and Mzinoni are receiving water daily, but this matter needs a permanent solution. A series of serious interventions have been made or have been put in place by the municipality in ensuring that the entire community of Bethal and Mzinoni receives water in a sustainable manner. We would like also to appreciate the support that we have received from Rand Water and also from Sasol in resolving the water pressure issue in Bethal and Mzinoni, which those interventions are still ongoing until we reach a stable situation. Ladies and gentlemen, let me also acknowledge the presence of the Senior Vice President of Sasol, Mr. Gerrit Viljoen. Mr. Viljoen, thank you very much. Honorable Speaker, water as an essential need has been treated by the municipality as priority number 1 on service delivery priority list. That is in the same breath the reason that has seen us putting a lot of budget into putting down water infrastructure so as to have everyone within governing boundaries having water. We will, in this coming financial year, be investing an amount of 10 million rand towards the upgrade of the bulk pipeline to our water storages at Bethal and Mzinoni, so as we have sufficient water supply to the sufficient storage capacity that we have. Bethal unfortunately has not only suffered with regards to water alone, also with blackouts, as electricity capacity continued to dwindle as the demand reached record highs. The capacity challenge did not only come from governing municipality, but also from the national grid, as Eskom suffers from the same illness as we are in the current moment. This crisis demanded of us to act at a blink of an eye, regardless of the financial crisis that we were in. The initiated interventions have since yielded results, as the people of Bethal and Mzinoni are today in a better condition than they were in a year or 2 ago. Energy as currently defined in the country reduces the level of importance of this need into a by-the-way activity. This cannot be right and must be corrected. Energy cannot be reduced to a mere catalyst. As in the 21st century, energy has become the source of all other basic needs. In the absence of energy, there's no water. In the absence of energy, there's no food. In the absence of energy, there's no shelter. And furthermore, there's no recreation. People of governing Begi, in particular those of Bethal and Mzinoni, have a right to get a better supply. A supply that is sustainable and qualitative. This will only happen when we work together with all relevant stakeholders within governing Begi. Sibande District Municipality, the Department of Minerals and Energy, the community have all heed to the call of the municipality and its people when we said we are limited in capacity and came on board to assist in resolving the crisis that we were faced with. We have since initiated a number of interventions that have brought about the progress that can be seen in the area. We have changed most of our old transformers, cables, breakers, and installed new ones. We have also installed over 2,000 new meters within the area of Bethal and Mzimba. We are also constructing a brand new 88 kVA line, which is going to be connected to a brand new 88 kVA substation, which is going to give us a total of 30 MVA, adding to the current 26 MVA, thus alleviating the crisis that we have in terms of energy capacity in that particular area. As we continue to initiate and implement measures to stabilize supply, improvement on the supply will continue to be seen as the demand will continue to go down and the quality of the network will be improved. Eskom has since appreciated the work that we are doing in Bethal and Mzimba and has since allowed us to be recused from load shedding in that particular area. Therefore, as we speak at this current moment, Bethal Mzimba is exempted from being load shedded through the National Load Shedding Program. The only load shedding that you will see in Bethal and Mzimba is now the only load shedding that is performed by governing municipality, nobody else. And that is an improvement. As we have been recused from the national load shedding schedule and allowed to load shed internally, this has seen a huge benefit on the side of the communities in the area. People are now receiving electricity more than half of the hours a day than what they used to receive. And this will keep on growing until we no longer have load shedding entirely in that particular town. Furthermore, we have just received a lucrative investment into the very unique energy deal in that focusing in that particular area. We are about to launch the very first wind energy farm that will produce a total of 2 gigawatts of energy once done. This $4.3 billion, not rent, dollar project will be implemented in the area of the Cllr Zuma and also integrate the areas of Msuga Lekwa and Lekwa into the project. And will be implemented for a period just about 36 months. This will guarantee a full energy supply to Governing Begi should we sign an off-take agreement. Governing Begi only needs an average of 200 MVA in order for it to cater for its capacity and demand. The energy capacity crisis that was there in Embaland a few years ago is almost eliminated as we have worked tirelessly in ensuring the stability of supply to our communities. As it stands, we no longer have internal load shedding in Embaland. Now you will realize we no longer have Eskom load shedding in Bethal Mzimba, but we have Eskom load shedding in Embaland, which is vice versa, but serves the same benefit. Therefore, the suffering of South Africans as it stands will now be equal to the suffering of citizens of governing Begi. We are no longer less than important than any other South African. Honorable Speaker, we are now venturing into a smart development program as we seek to ensure that all our municipal buildings are on green energy by having them being partially off-grid. In this way, we will save a lot of thousands of rands in terms of the ESCOM bill, but also resolve the issue of network challenges that are experienced during the process of load shedding by ESCOM in any of our towns, resulting into people being unable to pay their bills at the various pay points due to the absence of network at the pay points. This has for a very long time affected our revenue generation, as people cannot pay as a result, and when they are free to come and pay. This is also working against the spirit of council, which seeks to advance assistance to all our communities who are struggling to service their municipal accounts. Council had opened a window for the members of our community and businesses to get a 50% and 30% discount respectively towards their historical debt in a period of 12 months, which will be expiring in the end or at the end of June this financial year. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity and revive all of you as citizens of governing to take advantage of this particular scheme that the municipal council had given to you, for you to go and settle your historical debt that you have towards the municipality. The municipality is currently owed a total of 3.5 billion. If you can pay us all of that money, then I can promise you we do not owe ESCOM and we will not owe rainwater. Therefore, the lamenting that is continuously made in public to say that we are not paying ESCOM, we are not paying rainwater, must come to an end. Only those that are paying their services and buying electricity will have a right to speak about such. We are hoping that the people of governing Begi will take advantage of this particular magnificent benefit that has been given to them by Council of Governing Begi. Furthermore, we are encouraging all of those that are under the poverty line as prescribed, Honorable Speaker, to apply for the indigent registration so that they can be declared as indigents and government comes through with its own intervention of a minimum of 700 rand per month per household. Honorable Speaker, we have since implemented a lot of projects in the past few financial years, and most of them were implemented successfully. The communities that are in the area where we implemented those particular projects are feeling the impact of those projects by reaping the benefit out of those projects. Unfortunately, not all of them were implemented successfully as some failed dismally. We ended up having to terminate some of the contracts, and most of them, unfortunately, will no longer be able to do business with governing Mbeki Municipality. We are currently in a process of making means that all of those projects that were not completed are getting attention and should therefore be finished. One of those projects is the project of sewer in Embalente, extension 24. Cheers. Before I talk about sewer, I must drink water. Honorable Speaker, we have worked very hard in ensuring that we salvage most of the money or the entire money that had been allocated to those projects by ensuring that we put reasons that can be listened to national and provincial treasury and the related departments. It is good to announce, Honorable Speaker, that in the money that was allocated to all the projects within governing Mbeki in the previous financial year has been salvaged. All of that money we have managed to return it. This means that we will be able to continue and finish most of the projects that were started. This will include the over 100 million rand project of sewer that failed in extension 24 Embalente, which will now be implemented through the Cllr Zuma district municipality on our behalf. Honorable members of council and our stakeholders, Chapter 2 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, which speaks of the rights that we have and also the limitations of those rights. One of the most important rights out of those is the right to human dignity. One of the areas that will seek to compromise human dignity is living with sewage in your house, which is tantamount to a loss of all of your human dignity, and must be prevented and even abolished in the near future, so as to ensure harmonious living amongst all humankind. This is why we as governing Mbeki Municipality have made the issue of sewage or sanitation the second priority behind water, and energy the third priority behind sanitation. Honorable Speaker, we acknowledge the outcomes of the consultations that we have done recently through your office. When dealing with public participation, we listened thoroughly to our people, and one of the areas which our people complained about mostly, even more than sewage, was the issue of roads. Therefore, we are putting roads immediately after electricity as the fourth priority. Honorable Speaker, we are committed in ensuring that we put an end to sewer spillages in the entire governing Mbeki municipality, so as to ensure that we do reach our target of attainment of a model city of excellence by 2030. In the quest to achieve our desired goal of being a city, infrastructure development becomes very crucial. That is why we are investing a lot of our resources in that particular field. We want to ensure a proper human settlements development that will see basic infrastructure being put in place before we can settle people. We no longer want to see a very backward kind of spatial development that will see people being moved into vacant land that does not have services. That is the very same reason that we are vehemently opposed to land invasion, as it messes up the spatial development. And I hope that is very clear, President Mahlangu. Honorable Speaker, it is for this very reason that we had pronounced in the previous State of the Municipal Address that we were, as part of the target goal of 2030, going to establish over 20 new township establishments. And I can safely announce, Honorable Speaker, that already we have approved the following township establishments. The Extension 8 in Leandra, the Extension 30 and 33 in Kinross, the Extension 11 in Mzinoni, the Extension 75 in Secunda, the Extension 1 in Cllr Zuma. All these projects are currently in the implementation stage, which a bit of a hiccup happened with only one, which is Extension 11 Mzinoni, which we are hoping that the intervention of the national and provincial government is going to be able to assist us in resolving that particular hiccup as speedily as possible. I will not want to get to the details of what the hiccup became, but as you read on the reports on the state capture, you will know what happened. We are also in the process of making approvals for the following initiated extensions. Brandon Village, Extension 76, 77, 78, 79, and 80 in Secunda. Extension 12, 13, 14, and 15 in Mzinoni. Extension 34 in Kinross. Extension 24, 25, 27 in Leandra. Note be taken that all these approvals exclude private developments. We know for a fact that we have a backlog of over 20,000 sites that were currently in need of, in order for our people to be settled accordingly. Therefore, we need to play a catch-up game, and that will only happen provided there are no stoppages on projects. With the growth of Secunda, as promised, also Councillor Van Esten, in the last year's State of the Municipal Address, we are working together with the provincial government in the process of enlarging and rebuilding of the road between Secunda and Mbalele. We know how many lives have we lost in that particular road. Therefore, the construction of that particular road will commence in this financial year as designs have been finalized. We are also going to resurface and rehabilitate multiple roads across Governing Bay. That will include one of the 3 failed roads projects in Embalenhle. Honorable Speaker, we all know that we had failed in the implementation of Chief Albert Lutuli Road, Umpafa Road, and also Therefore, we are taking an initiative with our own internal funding to go and refurbish that infrastructure. Honorable Speaker, we are hoping that with these initiatives of upgrading and also restoring the quality of the roads across Governing Bay, this will mean that we are going to revive the Transport Forum officially. And the Transport Forum must therefore work tirelessly to achieve a goal of one Governing Bay, one taxi association. Honorable Speaker, culture remains a very crucial component of our lives and can never be lost in transition. It is for that reason that we have decided to bring back the Secunda Jazz and Cultural Festival starting from this year. Culture must be protected, preserved, as it must influence the evolution of society and must therefore enrich the lives that we are living so as to guide the development of the very same society. Governing Bay has diverse cultural communities that must be built into one so as to assist the national agenda of building a united South Africa, which can only be done step by step and be able to emulate a single nation. Honorable Speaker, let me reiterate this fact that yes, we are, all of us, subjected to a single constitution of the country. But we remain individual nations claiming to be one. The level of tribalism, the level of regionalism, and the level of racism that still exists cannot be tolerated. Governing Bay is not immune from this particular disease and must be cleansed by all of us seated here, working together with all stakeholders within this community. Honorable Speaker, the festival will not only be done for the purpose of culture, but also for the purpose of renewal and revival of tourism in the area. This will also include the formalization of the annual Governing Bay lecture that will take place each and every year on the 9th of July. We cannot claim to be Governing Mbeki municipality and not know who Governing Mbeki is. Indeed, he was born on the 9th of July, and therefore he will be celebrated on the 9th of July. We are also going to start a process through our Section 79 Committee on Geographic Names Change Subcommittee, a process of identifying all our local heroes and create a memorial monument will therefore be done. This monument will be situated in a public space where everyone can be able to visit and learn about the history of this particular area, Governing Mbeki. This will have to include the renewal of the state of our cemeteries. In particular, the Leandra cemeteries, where an evil person or persons decided to disturb the peace of those that are resting there and smashed to pieces their tombstones. Working together with Cllr Resources, we are going to reinstall all 87 damaged tombstones and further renew the fencing of the cemeteries in that particular area. Honorable Speaker, when highlighting a particular area within the municipality, it does not mean that the other areas are not as important. If one was to take their time and speak to each and every intervention that we are going to make to each and every area, it means we are going to be here for a day and a half. Therefore, no public protest must ensue tomorrow or next week on the basis that we did not announce the cemetery of Mzinoni or Mbalenhle to be refurbished. Honorable Speaker, in a process of saving our planet, all of us are now becoming victims of a very harsh change into the climate. We are subjected to rain in the Highveld during winter season. We are subjected to storms. We are subjected to harsh heat conditions. Ourselves, as this council, we have taken a very progressive step of approaching and welcoming at the same time the initiative of a program of carbon capture into our municipality. It is very crucial to indicate, Honorable Speaker, that in the entire world as it stands, this will be the first of the kind. Therefore, this particular project must be able to sit close to our hearts, because if it becomes successful, it means that we will be at the forefront of saving the future of this world and also our kids. This project is initiated and implemented by the Council for Geoscience and is happening as we speak in the area of Leandra. The municipality has offered the Council for Geoscience a total of 20 hectares for them to implement this particular project. It's a project which is estimated to be around 500 million rand. We are hoping that the people of the area will host this particular project and glorify its yields as they are going to get employment and an improved economy. Also, Honorable Speaker, any nation that does not care about its elders cannot be a nation that cares for its future, because that is where knowledge can be sourced. Ngesintu kuthiwa indlela ibuzwa kwabadala. Therefore, working together with Thungela in the area of Lebohang, we are going to build ikhaya labadala. Honorable Speaker, one of the failed projects by us is that of a multi-purpose center in the area of Mzinoni. And this particular project has been vandalized on the basis that we could not conclude the project. We have taken an initiative to engage the private sector, and I am happy to announce that that particular facility will now be refurbished and furthermore completed by the municipality working together with one of the mining houses. Within this particular financial year, phase 1 will be implemented. Honorable Speaker, one of the frustrations that our society is faced with is the scourge of abuse of substances. As the leading stakeholder of this community, it will be very wrong for us not to initiate programs that will seek to limit this particular scourge. Therefore, as announced in the previous State of the Municipal Address last year, that we are going to revive the Mayoral Cup. The Mayoral Cup will be implemented as from next week. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, we are going to invest on facilities that have been existing for us to upgrade them and put them into a standard that is desired. One of them that is going to get our attention is the Lilian Ngoyi Stadium, which is just outside this particular center. Working together with Sasol, we are going to revamp and upgrade it. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, we are going to correct also our wrong that we had implemented in the Lebohang Stadium. Therefore, we are going to invest and have that stadium rebuilt into a proper facility that young people can be able to participate in. We are going to further invest on planning, because we are limited on resources, on how are we going to invest and design the Mzinoni Stadium for it to be constructed in the next financial year, not in the one that was started. Furthermore, Honorable Speaker, working together with Sasol, MECAM, and national government, the Department of Culture, we are going to upgrade the Johannes Techman Theatre into a state-of-the-art theatre. Honorable Speaker, they say nothing about us without us. That is the slogan that is mostly promoted by those that are living with disability. And it is for that particular reason that we are, through the Governing Mbeki Disability Forum, going to be having initiatives of supporting disabled people and having interventions where we can on primarily tools of trade for them to be able to take an active part in the mainstream of the economy. Honorable Speaker, we are who we are because of women. We are today in the center of Lilian Ngoi, as already quoted above. Therefore, it will not be correct for us not to have consolidated programs that will recognize and seek to build capacity for women so as they can be able to advance society. For that reason, we are going to have a gender-based violence summit in the month of August with an intention of stopping abuse and also escalating and including women into strategic participation in our economy. Honorable Speaker, our economy has held by teeth for a very long time, seeking to survive the harsh conditions presented by the pandemics and many other factors that have contributed negatively towards our economic development. Governing Mbeki Municipality, with a population of about 380,000 formally counted. I don't know about the others that are not counted as to how many are they, is currently growing at a rate of 3.3% in terms of its population, only second in the province to Steve Tshwete. Now, that is why the mayor of Steve Tshwete is here. He knows we are direct competition, except that his budget is always funded and ours is always challenged. Honorable Speaker, with a growth of 3.3% per annum, our economy is supposed to grow at a rate above this particular percentage, and this unfortunately is not happening as our economy is currently growing at an average of 0.8%. Now, this can only mean one thing. We are growing and nurturing poverty, unemployment, and inequality, instead of doing the opposite. Honorable Speaker, in trying to intervene to these challenges, Sasol has donated a total of about 300 hectares to the Department of Agriculture. And the Department of Agriculture has initiated, as per the promise in the last State of the Municipal Address, that we are going to lobby the province to invest in Governing Mbeki on agriculture, with the possibility of us hosting an agri-park. That promise has become a reality. The development of the agri-park, Honorable Speaker, is currently in implementation, as the Department of Agriculture is investing an average of 400 million rand in the development of the land that was donated by Sasol to them. And that is rested on your way from Sekunda to Embalenhle on the left-hand side. We believe that the youth will take this opportunity with both hands and make the future bright for them individually and also for this place, so as we can be able to alleviate poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand here in front of you today, I am in a way in a celebratory mood, as one of the long-standing commitment has finally realized. Under the leadership of Executive Mayor Mdibani Sicheke from 2000 to 2006, under the leadership of the Executive Mayor Nkosi from 2006 to 2011, under the leadership of the Executive Mayor Umama Umasina from 2011 to 2016, under the leadership of Umama Umabua Boltzmann from 2016 to 2018, under the leadership of Umam Ngonono from 2018 to 2020, we have been pushing this particular program. The program of the Secunda West Development Corridor. And this program is now in implementation, and I am happy to announce that today, on the 20th, it's the 19th, on the 19th of May 2023, we are registering the land that all this development is supposed to take place on under the name of Governing Mbeki Municipality. This is a donation made by Evander Gold Mines and Pan-African, and we would want to take this opportunity and appreciate their contribution to the development of this particular community. Many people will benefit from this initiative. Under this initiative, we do have the already mentioned extensions that I spoke about above, from extension 75 to extension 80 in Secunda. Honorable Speaker, I must say that part of that land that is being transferred is also the position where the Governing Mbeki Industrial Park is going to be situated. A program that is going to be championed by the Provincial Department of Economic Development, working together with the private sector. The economy of Governing Mbeki is indeed going to thrive. Honorable Speaker, it is now time for us to put our heads and efforts together and salvage the economy in this area, while paving a solid path for a prosperous future, which can only be done with an economy that is growing at a rate that is above inflation. It is for that reason that I would like to announce that for the long-awaited economic summit, it will now be taking place on the 21st to the 22nd of June 2023, which means in this particular financial year before we can conclude it. This will be done under the theme, taking Governing Mbeki to glorious heights of the economy. Honorable Speaker, we are doing it for ourselves and we are going to be victorious. This city of excellence is going to be made by us, but nobody else. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, when people have been without a particular service for a very long time, they lose patience and start reacting with emotions instead of them being rational. We must not blame them, but instead we must restore hope in the lives that they have through implementation of small steps towards fulfilling the entire goal. We must be patient with them while we reason and educate them up until a particular degree. But should they not become sensible in their actions, then we must enforce the law. Governing Mbeki Municipality must be amongst the best municipalities in the country in no later than 2030. We must pave ourselves a way into becoming a model that every other municipality must become. The fact that we are the economic hub of the district must propel us into becoming a city in a predetermined period of no more than 6 years from today. This task must not be that of being a city, but instead a city that excels in everything that it does. Indeed, we must become a model city of excellence. All these projects that we are either implementing directly or indirectly will create a lot of employment for the local communities and further create opportunities for small, medium businesses, for men and women of this locality. It is for all of us to work together to ensure sustainability of these opportunities. For these objectives to be achieved, it becomes prudent for the municipality, particularly myself, to have a capable team of dedicated men and women that will be able to carry this difficult task, which has been in existence for centuries, seeking to transform this particular geographic location to be an area of equality to all humankind. For that reason, Honorable Speaker, I am now using the executive authority given to me by the MEC of Cllr through Section 12, notice as gazetted, to revoke what I pronounced in 2021 and instill a new resolution. Honorable Speaker, Governing Mbeki is an institution much bigger than others in Kgersiband. For reasons that one had stated in 2021, I had taken a decision not to appoint a full complement of the mayoral committee. And the reason in the main was that of our financial viability, as the municipality remained constrained in its finances. Even though we have improved slightly, but we are yet to be there, but we do need additional capacity for us to implement the task at hand. Honorable Speaker, I am therefore going to appoint a total of 7 members of the mayoral committee as from today. Honorable Speaker, in community services, I will retain Councillor Mavis Ntsibane. Honorable Speaker, regardless of the unlimited efforts by the MMC Finance, it is very prudent that the MMC Finance vacates this position. At the advice of Council that said on the 30th, was it the 30th or 20th of April, Council had advised that the MMC Finance should vacate the position because he is swamped and underperforming. I had made a commitment that I have heard Council in its plea, and therefore, as the Executive Mayor, will deal decisively with the MMC Finance. And today, I am dealing with MMC Finance on this following basis. That the MMC Finance has excelled in ensuring stability in the finance department, to an extent that we have managed to improve our revenue collection and furthermore managed to restore order and discipline in the finance department. With that said, I am therefore recalling MMC Councillor Cllr Zuma from being MMC Finance and replacing him with Councillor Aaron Bogazi as the MMC responsible. Honorable Speaker, the Department of Energy and Mechanical Services is one department that requires dedication and has been very hard at work through the MMC Mbogazi. With his move to the Department of Finance, it becomes crucial to also equip it with an MMC equally capable. And as an executive mayor who sees through no political boundaries, I am therefore appointing to the Department of Energy Councillor Zuma. Honorable Speaker, I will also be effecting changes to the following departments, with MMC for Planning and Economic Development now being MMC Tandin Tsui. With the MMC for Corporate Services now being Councillor Dr. Mjali. With the Department Civil Engineering now to be led by MMC Thandiwe Yvonne Ronon. Honorable Speaker, if you can count, I've only spoken to 6 MMCs or 6 departments. I am therefore establishing a new department that didn't exist before. A department in the Office of the Executive Mayor that is going to be responsible for the financial recovery, budget funding plan, ESCOM and rainwater account, as this has become the center of our survival. If we cannot be able to be in position to deal with our revenue generation, we are not going to be able to see any of the departments that I've already mentioned being able to implement any of its mandates. With that said, we owe ESCOM a total amount of 3.9 billion. We owe rainwater a total amount of 668 million. These monies must be paid back to the respective creditors. We are an institution that is facing a direction of excellence, and there's no excellence in accumulating debt. Therefore, in seeking to claim the already announced exemption by the National Treasury, I am therefore appointing Councillor Zuma to be the MMC responsible for this department. All of the appointments are for a period that cannot be disclosed, on the basis that all of them are performance-based. Any member of the mayoral committee that cannot be able to perform his duties will unfortunately have to be recalled. And with this, I want to say forward to the attainment of a model city of excellence. Forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Councillor Executive Mayor Cllr Zuma. We're now towards the end of our state of the municipal address. Honorable